Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Grind Stripper here. I had another huge game in the Hindenburg to start the stream this past Saturday. So I kind of wanted to do what I did before with you guys in that last Hindenburg gameplay that I gave to you guys. This one I actually did a decent amount of damage, and it is needed throughout the whole course of the game. So the understanding and kind of what's going to be going on here, I'll kind of give you an overview as to what's happening throughout the course of the game, and we'll kind of just let that play here. The beginning here, looking at the matchmaking, actually pretty solid matchmaking for the Hindenburg here. Nothing too crazy. Let me see if I can go back and rewind that. Just standard MM, nothing unheard of or whatever. They do have a DD div over there, which in and of itself, if you got a div of destroyers working against each other, tends to make the game depending on what side they wind up on, maybe a little bit more difficult. So you're gonna have to look out for that. Otherwise, nothing too crazy here for the Hindenburg. I see a lot of juicy battleships, and if you're a Hindenburg player, that just means food. Especially if you know how to engage them and what to go about, from a positioning standpoint, how to just get into the best position to do damage against them, while still mitigating the damage that you're receiving in turn. Hindenburg still holds up pretty well as somewhat of a tanky cruiser. Um, so yeah, we're gonna go for that. I'm actually heading over. I'm looking at the mini map, seeing that I'm starting in the middle of the map. So I'm kind of going, well, where would I like to go here? Well, I want to make sure the sides are kind of even. I don't want Delta to just get overrun if I don't go towards Delta. So I'm heading over towards Delta at the moment here with my divmate Shenanigans. Shenanigans is in a bungo. For those of you that watch my stream, you'll know how I think, you know, about the bungo. But he seems to love it. So he's a hell of a player. I'm not gonna argue with him on that. He knows what he's doing, and I'm just lucky to have him as a div mate. So we'll let him work his magic. I'm gonna try to get out wide here. Hindenburg's not gonna play like a Des Moines or a Moskva or a Stalingrad or something. I'm not gonna sit on, you know, this corner over here and try to radar. I don't have radar. There's no point in that for me. So I'm gonna try to get out wide here in a position where I can kind of flip around, turn, and kite if need be. Um, I think pretty soon I'm going to know that there's going to be the destroyer div on this flank, which is a tad bit unfortunate. But then, too, comes with a grain of salt, too, because that's going to make and ensure that I'm engaging at range. And with the spotter plane from the Hindenburg, that's going to make it a little bit nicer for me, too. All of it's kind of playing into my hands here to have a really potentially big game. So, Gearing is going into the cap right now. He's behind that rock, which kind of sucks because I'm missing out on the opportunities to shoot things. Looking, oh, there's a slow Hanover. I'm gonna shoot the Hanover, start peppering him, guessing, and I'd kind of immediately angle up, change my the angle. If he were to engage me, he's still not engaging me. I think I can get more rounds in on him. See that the Schlieflin is super close. Got a fire on the Hanover there. Schlieflin's close, and he is doing gamer things by going quarter to less than a quarter speed in a Schlieflin. I'm kind of worried about this island and where my divmate is. I don't want to overturn and turn into him and not allow him to do his thing. He does have some pretty big guns that are important to our team. So we're going to let him work over. I'm going to continue peppering the Schlieflin here. Looking at him again. And I think I'm noticing the Peds come in here now. So we're a little bit worried about that. Again, if you play Schlieflin, especially at this closer range to Hindenburg, this is not how to Schlieflin at that moment. I'm just going to pepper the crap out of him. And due to the inaccuracy on his guns, I'm going to be winning these trades. He's already on fire. He's lost a quarter HP. Win for me. I've noticed now that the Hanover has burnt his DCP, or damage control party. If you are unaware of what I'm referencing with DCP, basically his repair button. So I'm going to get back on the Hanover. I also noticed that the Schlieflin's burnt his DCP as well, so I might switch over, try to get one more round off on the Schlieflin, now that we picked up a fire on the Hanover. So I noticed he's kind of looking like he's starting to move forward. We're back on him. I honestly probably should be shooting that Benham. It's going to bite me in the ass here a little bit later on. but I just want to get. There's a lot of battleships. There's 4 battleships in front of me, and I want to be doing what I can to try to make them uncomfortable. This Yoshino is going to become my space armor here in a second. I'm not going to ram him or negate his progress, but he's just kind of in a bad spot. I'm back on the Hanover. The Hanover is just too slow and too juicy of a target. And honestly, those guns scare me. So we're back on the Hanover with this next salvo. This was a crazy game. I'm basically shooting on reload this entire game, minus a brief moment here. But for the vast majority of this game, I'm just pumping out shots. I'm looking at what the FDG is doing. Might help him out with this Delan. This guy actually is a pain in my butt here for a little bit. So we kind of get on him, try to help out the FDG, and start peppering this guy over here. Because him being over there kind of is going to make my kiting and getting these angles on this battleship a little bit more difficult. Not a little bit, it is going to. So he's kind of the threat, and honestly too, he's making it my FDG's life a bit of a living hell. So I want to help out the FDG, trying to do the good team player thing. Yay! Already up to 75k. Have 3 fires, 4 incapacitations. This man's gonna kind of ride the border hump over here a little bit. I really wish that Wargaming would do something still for that. A lot of people rely on that as a crutch. FDG goes down, which is unfortunate. I picked up another fire on that man. So I look back and I'm kind of wondering, well, how far am I going to be able to see him? I'm pushing up here because I noticed that the Hanover is probably trying to get behind those islands. I want to continue to make him uncomfortable. That's a huge, huge threat to myself if he chooses, but in particular to my divmate too in a bungo. The guns on the Hanover, if they hit, nothing to not give any sort of respect there. Shoot back on the Hanover. I still look up at my damage. Looks like that cruiser, his DCP has gone down. There's now a Montana in the fray here. So we're going to get back on the Montana. That cruiser has now smoked up and is peppering me. I can't recall if I eat this Pete or not, but I'm just saying screw it, and I'm back on the Montana at this moment. Montana looked like he burnt DCP, but he did not. It always throws me off on those space camos, whether it's the smokestack or the actual fire sometimes, especially in the heat of a game. I'm not a fan of those camos because of that. You can notice this DD is in fact way closer to me. I've already hit the hydroacoustics there to try to kite away from the DD as well as the cruiser here. I can't recall if I go dark, but I think we turn at the right time because we threw off these torpedoes. I'm sure that's making that man unhappy. See a Zao in the fray. I think I put a pop shot on the Zao because that's kind of about all I have to shoot at the moment. Like I said, this entire game I'm just shooting on reload, which you don't get those games all that often, but when you do, you got to take advantage of them. I've got, notice that the Montana is back. Does not seem to be on fire. We're going to shoot the Montana. He's in a position where he's going to make either the advance or retreat for my divmate difficult, so I want to get back on him a little bit, get some pressure on him, and then he is backing up in fact. So continuing there with the fire on that man, notice that the Yama shells are inbound on me. Still got this cruiser who's being a pain in my butt, so I'm kind of trying to play with my angling and my throttles and stuff like that to throw off the cruiser's shells inbound on me. Gonna go back on the Hanover. Have to take these shots on the Hanover. He's just otherwise going to push into me and my divmate and at a route where he's going to close the gap and then start secondarying us. I think we talked between the two of us here. He's a little bit healthier than I am, so he lets me go through. Fire on the Hanover, which again, good. I think I dodged the Peds here. I might eat one. I can't recall, or they just die out. Really lucky for me, not so lucky for my divmate. I believe he eats a couple here. Kerchunk. Yeah, there you go. He ate one. And back on the Hanover. He is pushing, as he should. It's just me and my divmate here, and we've got, 2 DDs on us, as well as the Hanover, and I believe that cruiser's still in play there. So we're going to continue peppering the Hanover. There's that cruiser again, being a huge pain in my butt, and I think he's very, very low HP too, so it's kind of unfortunate that he's doing that. I pick up another fire in the Hanover. This was Fire City. This game reminded me of an episode of NBA Jam. We're on fire. That Schlieflin has pushed middle. So I'm actually kind of looking that way because I don't want them to just stall those points. Especially I'm noticing, we're down a ship here. And if we start going down on, caps too, as well as the points from the cap, that's going to hurt our team and just put this a little bit farther out of reach. Even though we are up on points right now, um, yeah, that would just be unnecessary and unfortunate if that happened. Back on the Hanover, pick up another fire on the Hanover. That brings my fire count up, or double fire, in fact. That brings my fire count. There's already my Witherer, a couple minutes into this game. We're at 153k on 10 fires right now. Not a bad start to the game. Still have a little bit more than half my HP. I figured, hey, Hanover's burning. He's dark. Let's go farm something else. Look that way towards the battleship. Don't get the opportunity. Let's get some more shells on the Hanover. We've now stopped the Hanover's push. I'm looking towards the Schlieffen. Just because my Gearing could potentially have a rough time with him. We'll see. You never know. Gearing might pull something out of his hat here. I get some lucky shells here on the Yama. Just kind of taking a shot. You never know. The Yama might get an opportunity to come around, and him not having a DCP would be awesome. This Benham, the DD div here is going to now kind of be a pain in the butt for the rest of the game. Already at 189k in damage. And the game's still close. I know it's they're technically down on points here, which is fine, but their positioning and the way that they can push. If you look at our alpha side here, we just lost our Yoshino too, by the way. If you look at the alpha side of the map, that flank is done. They've already done what they can, so it's just myself and my div mate kiting. Another good chance, and hopefully you guys understand when to kite and when not to. Myself and my div mate, and me being a half health Hindenburg and him being a 3/4 health Bungo, aren't going to do well against 2 destroyers and 4 battleships. So kiting here needed to be done. Again, looking on the map, I see this Yama is now pushing, so slowing down here, gonna farm the Yama. I go, hey, I got a DD there, and I've got a huge, beautiful island here. Great opportunity for me to farm. Because in my mind, I'm thinking about where our team's coming in from, and they're all coming in from the alpha side. So that's going to pull off the attention on these guys. Gives me a great opportunity to farm more damage. Why would I not do this? So there's that Dallin again. Gonna shoot at him here, I think, because he was a pain in my butt. Don't get the opportunity. The Benham, we shoot him. Honestly, I probably could have gotten a little bit more aggressive with the Benham here. It might have helped our team out. But I think if I do that at this moment, I'm just going to get hammered by battleships. My div mate's still kiting because he's still probably spotted now by the Benham and needs to do that. So looking, oh, hey, there's the pesky Dallin thing or whatever. Battleship is now spotted. So I'm either going to shoot one of these 2 targets here. Oh, DD, don't have shots on that. Get onto the Montana. We start peppering the Monty. I think I remember not shooting at the Dallin here. Yeah, he's dead. So there we go. Back onto the Montana. The Yamato's here as well. That's what we like to call a target-rich environment. It's now, we're up on points here, but I think they still have pretty solid positioning due to the fact that their destroyers are out front spotting for these 3 battleships here. So I'm going to continue peppering the Hanover, and now I switch back. I think I go again to the Montana. We know he's on fire. Like to get him out. So shoot at the Montana here. Can't recall. I know I switched. I do some funky things with switching targets here in a little bit. There's another fire in the Monty. Shoot another HE round. I think I switched to AP at a certain point. Can't recall if it's on this engagement or another. I honestly probably should be shooting AP at this Montana with that much angling. So yeah, but apparently I stayed at HE. I must have just been in the heat of the battle. It was the heat of... Now I'm on to the... There's my high cal, by the way. 236k in damage. Onto the Yama. Gonna pepper the Yama, and I'm not spotted. I'm thinking that the DD is gonna come from behind on me. He does not, which is fine. Got a fire on the Yama, which is cool. He puts that out. He burns DCP. I realize, okay, that's fine. So we're gonna pepper the Yama. Try to get another fire on him, and hopefully take the Yama out. If we get another fire, at least that's going to put him in a world of hurt. The Montana is still on fire, I believe, and definitely hurting here. I'm going to get the kill secure on the Montana here. I just picked up a fire on the Yama, so that is going to put the Yama in a bit of a pickle. The Hanover is still very healthy, so after I pick up the kill on the Montana, I'm going to switch back to the Hanover. There is my Arsonist with 260 AK. Now back on the Hanover. We're at 14 fires here. There's another fire. There's 15. Killed the Yama. 276k. Continuing to pepper the Hanover. Hindenburg's back in the game. They still have another cruiser. They got the Hindenburg, and they still have that Zao that just popped up on the map in play. I'm not sure why our battleship up north decided to keep pushing into two kiting cruisers, both of which are very, very capable of killing them even by themselves. I have now switched to AP on the Hanover, so we're doing some pretty substantial chunk damage. We're about to eclipse the 300k damage mark. My div mate is getting in. If you look at Clam's position in the bungo, he's kind of important for me to be able to do this at this moment. He's farming. Not I'm farming, but he's kind of taking the brunt of the damage or the positioning. Our Satsuma is dead. I have no clue why he was doing that. So Hanover just shot at me. I'm gonna be shooting back at the Hanover. Hopefully I can get another fire on him. I think I do. These peds, unfortunately, I eat the speed. If I don't eat the speed here, who knows how big this game would have been, honestly. So I pick up another fire on the Hanover. That's 16 fires now. And now if you notice what I'm trying to do, I've noticed I need the Hindenburg needs to die. We're down on points. Hindenburg's got to go. Hanover's looking bad. I'm pushing towards the destroyer. Why am I pushing towards the destroyer? I was trying to get closer to the rock to get underneath the destroyer's gun line. Then I noticed the DD's just there, so we're actually just going towards him. Now they're both there actually, and unfortunately I'm gonna get peated here, and I realize that. Take out the Hanover. I think I try to get one more salvo onto the Hindenburg, and I might be able to do that here. I think I do, but unfortunately I die. If I didn't eat that peed there, that would have been potentially even a bigger game, which is kind of a scary thought. So this game's still close. I'm kind of like, hey, what the hell? Even though at this moment we're technically up on points, it's close enough where if my div mate doesn't kill the Hindenburg, it's going to make the Jaeger is going to get teamed up here between the Hindenburg and, maybe even the Zao and the DD. So this game's still very, very close. They have more ships, so they're going to gain more points towards the end of the game. So I'm kind of freaking out for him right now in the midst of the game. Kind of sucked that he shot at the Hindenburg. I think he was trying to make these shots count. Unfortunately, if he would have shot at the Minigumo, it might have been the better choice at that moment. Hindsight's 2020 though. He takes the Hindenburg all the way down to 561 8 points. That's really, really unfortunate. Now he's got to deal with the Minigumo in his face while the Mini's shooting our Jaeger. And still, the Hindenburg that's going to be peppering him. He shoots the Minigumo here. Chunks him pretty good. And the secondaries are just working him over. Unfortunately, the Jaeger is taking that fight. Again, hindsight 2020. Don't know if he should have, shouldn't have, whatever. If you guys were there for this game, I'm freaking out right now because I'm like, this is going to suck if this goes for a loss. Clam or Shenanigans gets another shot on the Hindenburg. I'm saying in chat, we need this to win, like right now. Still close game, points-wise. And boom, the Hindenburg stops, and all those beautiful shells miss. He lives on 500 hit points. Clam makes a smart move here. He tries to put the island between himself and the Minigumo here. Super, super clutch, him doing that. The Mini actually gets a little bit cocky and goes, well, hey, I got hit points. I'm going to try to torp him. So actually the Mini's going to come out of his smoke. And instead of reversing behind this island here, he's going to come out and basically get himself killed. Knowing what we know now with the Zao picking up the cap, them technically up. If the Minigumo would have just backed up, they would have won the game. So that's a dead Minigumo. Now we've got the points. I'm telling my div mate, hey, maybe you got peds off. You got to move up. Notice that the Zao's in alpha. So the one real play here with Shenanigans on 4,000 hit points, and he just makes it clear is to basically go up the middle. Got a minute and 14. With that amount of time, they're not going to be able to catch us. Pending, the Zhao just plowing his way down the corner, and technically, I suppose we're right at about the position where he's even a one shot for the Zhao. Definitely if he gets a good AP salvo into him, but maybe even potentially even with like HE. So this is a close game, coming right down to the end here. And actually, you can see his AA going off on the Zhao's submarine, um, ASW anti-ship sub warfare, which was actually smart of the Zhao. That gave the Zhao an understanding as to where he was, but unfortunately, too little, too late. As they're technically, going to be gaining more points than us. There's just not enough time for them to come back. This game went right down to the wire. We had to do all that damage there. Hats off to my Did May Hear shenanigans. Keeping calm and cool. Again, the Jaeger gets a little aggressive there at the end. Don't know that even needed to be done. But why? Whatever. It wasn't like he was gonna get spotted. But yeah, game came down to the end. I forgot what the exact end point is. We're at 920. They're at 880. So 40-point spread. Had to do everything we could there to try to ensure the victory there. But yeah, this was a huge, huge game in the Hindenburg. Shows why the Hindenburg is still so strong. Yeah, 320 shell hits, 3 kills, bunch of fires, 2.6, almost 2.7k base experience. I thought it was going to be higher, honestly, with 323 damage, as well as 1.5 million potential damage tanked. Again, I'm not sure how Wargaming's figuring out the experience anymore when you consider this probably would have been a 7 to 8,000 experience game for a sub, whatever. Yeah, kind of a crazy game here, and I just want to share that with you guys, give you an idea of I've also uploaded the replay onto YouTube from the live play from Twitch, so give you guys an idea as to what I was thinking. And honestly, my live reaction too, that's on there too if you guys want to see that. But some more good Hindenburg game play here for you guys. Wanted to send it out to you guys. Apparently, I'm just loving the Hindenburg right now, so we're gonna let it rip. But that's what I got for you guys. If you guys want to see more content, or if you guys want to know what I'm thinking, during good games or close games like this, let me know. And as always, stop by the stream. I'm on Twitch every night, somewhere around 7:30 or 8:30 Central, and we will catch you guys next time. Thank you.